James Toney says Shakur is boring. He says he didn't do it like how I did it. He said if Shakur threw more punches, he'd be more exciting. Toney watched the first 6 rounds of the TO fight and then stopped watching. He said it was just too boring for his liking. This is a case of right message, wrong messenger, because James Toney could barely talk. James Toney is mush mouth. You know, he talks like he has peanut butter in his mouth nowadays because of all the brain damage he suffered during his career. However, he didn't suffer the brain damage, contrary to popular belief. He didn't suffer the brain damage because of taking too many hits. James Toney suffered a lot of brain damage. And I should also say he didn't suffer it because of an offensive style or a risque style. He suffered brain damage for coming to fights out of shape his entire career and allowing himself to blow up to heavyweight when he was a natural middleweight, maybe light heavyweight. But this is a guy with a football background who was used to having a lot of weight on his body. So James Toney is truly remarkable as far as being a gifted boxer. He's one of the most naturally talented boxers ever. But because he had a football background, he knew how to carry weight on his body and still be explosive and athletic. But really, he had no business ever competing at heavyweight. He would be at heavyweight with big man boobs, a big belly. You know what I mean? And I don't even, what is James Toney, 5'11"? You know, he's not really a big guy. I think there's also speculation that he was on them peds when he went up to heavyweight as well. But the fact of the matter is, when you're engaging in combat and you're out of shape, you're getting hit with shots that you normally wouldn't get hit with. You're getting hit more often than if you would have ran those miles, if you would have done those sit-ups. James was so gifted and had such a great chin and a thick skull, he could get in there out of shape, roll a couple punches, take a couple punches, and still win most of the time. Unless he was in there with somebody that was truly great. So, once again, right message, wrong messenger, because all people are going to say is, Shakur doesn't want to talk like you at the end of his career. And that's a good point. But at the end of the day, it's not because James Toney was an offensive fighter and Shakur has to be defensive. The truth of the matter is this. Shakur Stevenson is a great defensive fighter, like Willie Pep. But he is not a great offensive fighter. I don't think he spent that much time developing his offense, because for him to be as quick and fast as he is, he doesn't throw flurries and stuff. He really doesn't take risks. You can look at a pretty boy Floyd, Roy Jones, Marvin Hagler, Tyson. These guys at times, and I'm talking about these guys understand boxing, but at times they'll lunge at you. Hagler would throw the gazelle jab. Floyd would throw a lead left hook, looping hook. Roy Jones would do the same. Sometimes Floyd would jump out there and throw that right hand. Sometimes Floyd would jump off his feet, throw the hook, and then come back with the right hand, leaving himself exposed to get countered, especially in the pretty boy era, because he was trying to get guys out of there. He took real risks that we don't see Shakur take. You can go watch Floyd versus DeMarcus Corley. Shakur would never fight a fight like that, and it's okay. It's not a bad thing. But we just got to call a spade a spade. In my opinion, he's a great defensive fighter, all-time great defensive fighter, like Willie Pep. But he probably won't be able to be compared to, the Floyds and the Roy Jones and the Buzz, because they were great all-around fighters. They had an A+ in offense or an A in defense. I don't think no fighter has an A+ in both. But these guys had Floyd A+ in defense, A in offense. Bud A+ in offense, A in defense. You know? Shakur A+ in defense, probably like a B in offense. It is what it is. Now, was a fight with him and T.O. boring? Yes, to me it was boring. I think that he could have did a lot more. But if he doesn't want to take risks because he wants to remain undefeated, hey, that's your business. Because at the end of the day, that's how you make money. The people see that you're undefeated, you must be good. It's a good look. It just is. And that's part of the post-Floyd Mayweather era. But I think that James Toney is some truth into what he was saying. If Shakur threw more punches, he'd be more exciting with the defense, but then he would open himself up to take more damage. And Shakur doesn't want to do that. That's his business. Doesn't really bother me. Keep doing what you're doing. But y'all let me know what y'all think.